Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 90, Safety Equipment Maintenance Rate. Let's just dive right in. Let's cover a couple of definitions for us before we get going. So, safety equipment maintenance rate is a key occupational safety rate that tracks the effectiveness of maintaining and inspecting safety equipment in the workplace. And when we talk about safety equipment, we mean things that are there, and of course, we hope that they are never used. Um, Things like fire extinguishers, first aid kits, safety showers, eyewash stations, staged chemical spill response kits, AEDs, things like that. Then that we hope, of course, are never used. They're there, they're ready to be used, of course, but we hope that they will never be used. So let's sit down and break this down then a little more. Like all things, we have to have some kind of a metric to monitor and measure performance. So I love to use the percentage rate then. So for this one, we're going to look at the number of safety equipment items properly maintained and inspected over the um, total number of safety items times 100. It gives you a good percentage point then. So, and when we look at a high percentage point, you're doing really good. And when we look at a low percentage, it indicates deficiencies in maintenance and inspection processes. So, let's sit down and look at a couple of the particulars of this whole thing then. Um, and so the big thing, of course, is that we want to have these things ready to go at all times. And it's awesome that we have them inspected and all that kind of stuff then. But one of the things that this rate does is it gives you a real good sense of, is it being done on a regular basis? Is everything good? And all that kind of stuff then. But what it doesn't help you out on is, how do you go back and correct anything that's wrong? So I've been doing safety for almost 30 years. I've never once opened up a 100% fully stocked first aid kit, unless I've gone, of course, and just done it like recently, right then and there, the same day. Um, I like to call it the rule of threes. So if somebody needs a band-aid, what somebody says is, well, I should probably take a couple because I'm going to wash hands and maybe I don't have any at home, that kind of stuff then. You always have to understand what happened to the first aid kit, that is just, things are just gone and missing. If nobody's reporting any accidents, I get it. It's really hard to have that stuff at home and have it at your desk, and so I've never once. That doesn't mean that we didn't inspect it. So not only do you have to inspect it, you also have to correct it, of course, too. Once that you find that there's a deficiency out there. So I have found, as funny as it sounds, at a staged chemical spill equipment, that things like the spill mats were missing and gone and that kind of stuff. I could never find any chemical spills. What happened to these things and all that. What I didn't realize is that the maintenance folks thought they made fantastic pads for kneeling down when they were looking at machinery and motors and pumps and all that good stuff then. So I'd never factored in that when you have to kneel on concrete, of course, it obviously hurts for a while. So once that I knew this, I could go out and go get him some knee pads and that kind of stuff then. So there's always a reason where that stuff went. It's not always apparent when there hasn't been an accident, a chemical spill, or anything else out there. So you just can't say, hey, I'm 100% on inspected everything. You also have to go back and say, and for the stuff that I inspected that was not up to snuff, I fixed that too, of course. So that's going to be it for today's episode. Short and sweet, right to the point. Episode 90 is complete. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Safety equipment maintenance rate is complete. Have a safe day.